Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to What a Creep, the show with Margot Donahue and Sonia Mansfield, talking about creeps from the past to the present.
This is your quick guide to the biggest creeps, jerks, assholes, and losers, the best of the worst.
From two nice ladies who want the world to be a little less creepy.
Welcome back to What a Creep. This is Margot Donahue, and my cohort and creepitude, as always, is the amazing Sonia Mansfield. Hey, Sonia.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. We are the podcast that talks about creeps from the past to the present. This is Super Bowl weekend here in the United States of America. Are we America anymore? Who knows?
Question mark?
Question mark. And so we thought we would talk about an event that happened 21 years ago. Unbelievable. This creepitude is allowed to order alcohol now. It's old enough to drink.
Wow, weird. We're celebrating the Super Bowl the only way we know how, by shitting on the NFL and CBS.
But here's the thing. We always end the show with somebody who's not a creep, or today, some buddies that are not creeps at the end of the episode. Nice. Which means we're always looking for ideas for creeps and also for the non-creeps. So there's lots of places you could reach out to us. We do have a basic Facebook page. We don't really use it. We don't really check it. It's usually a place where people go to complain about our language. This is your big warning that we use salty language in this program.
Shit, fuck, damn.
We're much more interactive as of right now in our private Facebook group. And yes, you do have to join. You have to ask to join. And we have to keep it private nowadays because Facebook now lets anything happen there. It's the Wild West. So you have to answer a few questions. It's Deadwood, quite frankly.
Howdy, partner. Decline.
What was the... I'm not even going to say the word they used to say all the time. I don't even use that one on this show. Okay. Nope. But we're also on social media. We are on Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky at What a Creep Podcast as of right now. And we have an old-timey email. That's a great place to reach out to us. whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. Sonia, do you want to tell them about the website?
Yeah, go to whatacreeppodcast.com, and it's everything you want to know about the podcast, but we're afraid to ask. You can open each of those blog posts and learn a little bit about each episode and see our sources, because we source everything we do. They're in the show notes on your apps, and they're also on the website. So if you're looking for a deeper dive on any of our creeps or any of the various stories that we're telling here on this podcast, great place to start, because, we want to give people their credit. Mm-hmm. So do that. We also have a link to our merch shop where you can get t-shirts and tote bags and all kinds of cool things. Notebooks, sure. The maybe next year shirt never goes out of style. And there's a link to our Patreon. You want to tell them about that, Margot?
Yes, Patreon. We have our first 9 seasons on the Patreon wall. 9! So if you pay for Patreon, you get a couple of bonuses there. You get those first 9 seasons of What a Creep. And then we put out 2 bonus episodes a month. And what makes the bonus episodes great is, one, they're just shorter bites of creepitude. We just talk about stuff that's happening in the news. We talk about stories from our past, that kind of thing. It's a little more informal. Or a little less formal, however you want to look at that sentence. You editors out there. And we also video it. We record our Zoom call so you can see what our pusses look like when we're talking.
Pusses.
I say pusses. Or we put out also an audio version too, so you don't have to look at us if you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
We get it. We're also considering making for paid membership, paid Patreon members, ad-free episodes, excuse me. So, because we've had a few people get back to us and say, there's lots of ads, and we are very sorry, but we really don't have control over that. We've tried to put in pauses and spaces where they should put ads, and they just kind of do them where they want them. So just understand, it's just the cost of putting the show together, and we really appreciate all of you that listen. So if you think that would be a carrot to dangle, let us know. We can start doing that for y'all. And another way to reach out to us and to support us, if money's tight, we totally understand. You can leave us a review, and leaving us a review is a really great way for us to not only, get the nice kudos that you want to send to us, or kudos for all my Real Housewives of New York fans.
Kudos.
It's a Ramona expression.
Yes.
But also it helps us find our people. They'll feature us better in iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that. So a lot of you have been writing on Spotify. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
And we got a 4-star review recently on.
Yeah.
And they said they liked the show, but they were annoyed by the ads. So like we said, we're doing the best we can. We're trying to figure out solutions for things. Right?
Yeah, we're humans. We're just doing the best we can, y'all. But I hear what you're saying, and we try to place the ads appropriately, and our company has other ideas. We do the best we can.
Right. So just hit the fast forward button. It's really not that hard. I'm sorry. We're doing our best.
Honestly, that's what I do.
That's what I do
listen
too.
to
I know.
When I listen to podcasts with ads.
I was at the grocery store today listening to Watch What Crappens, and they have a bunch of ads in there. And I got like, I'm in line. I got to hit the button. But that's all you need to do. But okay, we get it. If it's annoying,
totally
it's annoying. We get it.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about the NFL, and we're specifically going to discuss this incident that made the world. It was in the words of comedian Louis Black, America, the country he loved so much, lost its goddamn mind over this event. Yes. When Janet Jackson was being honored at the Super Bowl, she was giving a halftime show. Special guest Justin Timberlake was there.
Yeah.
And you may have heard that there was a thing called a wardrobe malfunction.
Yes.
You couldn't avoid it when it happened.
Mm-mm. No, you could not.
So Sonia's going to lead the discussion today.
Yeah. Let's get into it. It was the wardrobe malfunction seen around the world. We're going to talk about the infamous 2004 Super Bowl halftime show in which the entire country lost their collective mind, because they got a glimpse of a boob for less than a second. Less than half of a second, actually, during what they like to pretend is a family-friendly cultural event, when in reality, we're watching a brutal sport in which men get concussions for our entertainment, and it's sandwiched in between commercials for booze and boner pills.
And also quite a few of them over the years have been arrested for domestic violence. And
yes, but go off about how
this is family-friendly entertainment.
Yes. So was it a planned stunt? Was it an accident? I'm not really sure it matters. But what does matter is that people used it as an opportunity to basically shit on Janet Jackson 24/7 for months. And others used it as an opportunity to get on their soapbox and, not sincerely ask, won't someone think of the children? So sources for this episode: Deadspin, Los Angeles Times, the New York Times presents Malfunction, the dressing down of Janet Jackson. It was a hour-long documentary. You can watch it on Hulu. NPR, Rolling Stone has written some really great things about this. And of course, our good friends at Wikipedia. We're going to start at the beginning. And by the beginning, I mean 2004. So we're going back to 2004. George W. Bush was president.
Boo.
John Kerry and Howard Dean were running for president.
Bless their hearts.
Then we decided that Howard Dean couldn't run because he yells funny. That was enough for us to be like, no thanks.
The soundbite heard round the world.
Our country had invaded Iraq for reasons that were not true. Everyone was singing "Hey Ya" because Outkast was at the top of the charts. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King was at the top of the box office, and everyone loved to watch The Desperate Housewives.
Oh, we
on
talked about
ABC.
that.
Yes.
We had an episode
And in
about
the
it.
Super Bowl, which is, I guess, would have been, I'm trying to decipher Roman numerals here, 38, Super Bowl 38. Sure. The New England Patriots are playing the
Boo.
Carolina Panthers.
Boo. I don't like either of those teams.
The halftime show was being produced by MTV, and it was centered around their Choose or Lose campaign, because back in 2004, voting wasn't partisan. We wanted everyone to vote. Register to vote, choose or lose. Now it's like, how dare you push voting? That's Democrat talk. Bah! So anyway, so when the NFL, like, they get MTV to produce the halftime show, and at the time, like, they asked Janet Jackson to lead it. She had, at the time, the record for the most consecutive top 10 hits for maybe everyone, not just men, like not just women, men or women, more than Madonna, more than Beyonce, more than Lady Gaga at the time. 2001, her album had come out, All For You, which was a huge hit. Totally great song, such a bop. She had won a Grammy in 2002. Like, she was still like the top. She was Janet fucking Jackson. So they asked her to perform the halftime show. She asked Justin Timberlake to join her because Timberlake had left NSYNC, but when he was in NSYNC opened for Janet Jackson during her like Velvet Rope world tour. So like in a way, she helped.
So good.
Yeah, she helped make this relatively unknown group popular. And like, she used to sing with them, and they would come out and do sets with her, and they were friends. And following the tour, Timberlake and Jackson were quote unquote good friends. She would always praise him, and whenever he was asked about like, who do you think's the sexiest woman on the planet, he would always say Janet Jackson. Like, he, really, they seemed to really like her, and he really liked her, and she sang some backup vocals on his new album Justified, which had the song Rock Your Body, which was getting very popular. So now they're going to do the halftime show. What actually happens in the halftime show? There was more than just a nip slip. So she comes out on stage, she sings her like All For You for a little while, she leaves, and then Diddy comes out.
Boo.
That's problematic. So he comes out and he's like, I'm a bad boy for life, blah, blah, blah. And, and then they bring out all these cheerleader types, and they're like, ooh, Diddy, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. All this stuff. And it's like, ew, gross. And then they bring out Nelly, boo. And they're like singing Hot in Here and some of like Mo Money, Mo Problems. Then everybody, they bring out Kid Rock. It's a who's who of who sucks. They bring out Kid Rock, and he comes out with his, I'm name is Kid. And
he, by the way, attacks people doesn't want to learn names, pronouns, and stuff like that. His name is not Kid Rock. His name is Robert Ritchie. That's his name.
Yeah.
He's allowed to change his name. He's allowed to, yes.
But not other people.
But he can't be bothered to call someone by their preferred name.
Yes. So he comes out with his like, American flag poncho that he's wearing, that some people were like, hey, I don't like it when people wear the flag. Whatever. He comes out, he's wearing his fucking stupid poncho, and he's like singing songs about like doing shots of Jack and taking meth, and everyone's like, that's cool that you could sing that in front of kids, whatever. So that all happens. Then Jackson comes out again, and she does some Rhythm Nation. And then here comes Justin Timberlake, and he's like, you're going to rock your body. Here, yeah, everyone wants to hear me sing, right? And then everyone knows what happens next. So there's a whole thing, and Rock Your Body was like, bet I can have you naked by the end of this song. And he like goes to like rip like I guess for the breastplate. I don't know actually what you would call it. Like he's ripping at her chest, and what was supposed to happen was it just reveals like a lacy red bra. And you can see that like he is accidentally like fully ripped the bra, and her boob pops out, and she's wearing like a nipple shield. So you don't even see nip, but it's a nipple shield. It's literally for less than half a second that you see it.
And
The
he did it
camera,
to
like-
her. Remember?
And he did it to her. Yeah. And there is a whole thing about when they rehearsed. At one point, there was an idea that like he was going to rip like a skirt off of her, and they decided they weren't going to do that. And then they came up with this idea, and there's a lot of we're going to get into whether it was staged or not. But again, you see her breast pop out. She appears pretty shocked.
Yes, she is.
She cups her breast with her hand. She looks.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge. From worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pretty fucking traumatized in the moment. Again, less than a second, but you would think that she performed a live sex act on Sesame Street with the reaction that this thing gets. So she says the intention was to reveal the bra. He said the same thing. The story has changed many times over the years. So according to the documentary that's in the show notes, there was the rehearsal where they like ripped the skirt off, and they're like, we're not going to do that. That's too racy and it doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. There are reports that Jackson's stylist went out and like bought the nipple shield thing, and that all of this was very planned. The stylist says that he's told a story that all of this was Justin Timberlake's idea, and that Justin Timberlake wanted to make a big splash and really wanted to show up Britney Spears, Madonna, and Christina Aguilera, who had done this whole kissing thing on stage the year before at the MTV Video Music Awards. He wanted like his viral moment.
Right.
That's what this stylist is saying. Is that true? Don't know. Some folks at like MTV, CBS, the NFL, they're saying it wasn't an accident, and that Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake secretly planned this, and that it backfired. The Hulu documentary like says that it was Janet Jackson who like wanted this, and that it wasn't going to be the bra, it was always going to be the nipple shield. There's just all kinds of different theories if it's an accident or not. Janet Jackson has always insisted that this was an accident. And in all of her interviews, she's like, I've been humiliated that this happened. Like, and she tried really hard to be like a good sport. Like, she issued multiple apologies and even like went on Letterman and like tried to like get in on the joke, and she did SNL and all this stuff, but like she wasn't going to win on this because everybody decided to be shitty. So her story all along has been that it was an accident. All of this was like became then this like storm of how to basically all these people went to shame a woman in town square for this. Like it was about like, let's pile on. And then there's just people that fucking hate women and they're like, yay, we're shitting on women. And they like get in. So CBS demands an apology from Jackson. And she did it. She issues a written apology. Like, she's like, I wanted to do a costume reveal. This is not what it was supposed to be. Like, she's like, MTV was completely unaware. It wasn't supposed to go that way. I apologize, that I offended people, including the audience, blah, blah, blah. Then she issues a video apology after that. So now she's done 2 apologies for an accident, by the way, accident. Justin Timberlake had gone on Access Hollywood like that night and was like, man, it's just a little nip slip, whatever. Ha ha ha. You're
He strutted after it happened.
He was like, I'm
the cock of the walk.
Yeah, he was like totally cool with it. He's totally fine making all these jokes about it.
But then there's a huge thing.
Woo! Yeah, and once the backlash starts, we get a very different Justin Timberlake. So Justin Timberlake goes and he meets with Les Moonves. Now, Les Moonves, we've done a whole episode on.
He's a creep.
He's a fucking creep.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to that one. Timberlake goes and he just kisses Moonves' ass. He kisses the ring, does a complete 180, kind of takes a step back and tries to portray himself more as an unwilling participant. And this is when he starts to let Janet Jackson take the blame.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't step in.
This was on me.
Yeah. Or
I screwed up.
Or it was totally an accident or whatever. He starts to get in on the like, maybe she
guilty.
did plan it. Yeah. Les Moonves then says he wants another apology from Janet Jackson. He's already got 2, but he wants another one. And
just for him?
Just for him. And when she doesn't do it, because she's already apologized twice, like she is disinvited from the Grammys where she was supposed to perform.
Which
Janet
messed up.
So messed up. Timberlake not only attended the Grammys, he won. He issued another apology at the Grammys. Other people were asked to comment on this. Like it's their fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who cares? All of this. But Moonves had like a years-long vendetta against Janet Jackson after this because she wouldn't kiss his ass for a 3rd fucking time because he's a fucking child. He's a monster. And we've talked again.
I think I told you the story I heard about him that I've been spreading for years. So I will do so again gleefully. Les Moonves is known for being a shithead, asshole, woman-hating, gross pig.
He's sexually assaulted people and sexually harassed people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was an actor in the 70s and he appeared on The $6 Million Man. And there was someone that worked for him that he was beaten up by either Steve Austin or one of Steve Austin, like the Sasquatch or something like that. Like, one of the $6 Million Man's, henchmen. And he gets beat up in the show. And there was this woman who worked for him. And it was such a misery to work for him that she had that clip of him being beaten up on The $6 Million Man kind of on the reg. So she would check her phone every once in a while. So if you listen to that.
Feels so good.
Sir, I hope you know that people hate you.
He's a real
pig.
Piece of shit.
He's a real shithead.
Yeah. He claimed that like she embarrassed him and he deserved another apology. Like what a fucking dick. So again, he had a huge years-long vendetta against her. Gosh, you guys can't hear it, but my dogs are freaking out about something. They love Janet Jackson. Okay, so he blocked any of her new singles or videos to be played on CBS or MTV,
right,
which is the
Paramount
big one.
owns it, yeah.
Yeah, or any Infinity broadcasting channels. So radio stations, Now
Not his job. It's not, Jesus, if people just like had relaxed, it would have gone away. But it was, I think, wasn't it the TiVo thing?
Yes.
It was a TiVo moment. It was like the first TiVo moment that people, believe it or not, you used to have to watch things in real time. You couldn't just pause it like you can do now. So if it happened, and if this would happen, if it happened like 10 years before, we wouldn't even know it. I mean, she would have just turned around and would have been like, wait, what was that? We wouldn't have seen it. But because it was a TiVo moment, people in real time at home kept playing it over and over and over again. So then the media kept playing it over and over and over again. So they just kept, that thing that she apologized for that everyone realizes is kind of stupid? Let's play it again. The Janet Jackson moment where she blah, blah, blah. And they play it, re-traumatizing her, like also relitigating how she should be, on the outskirts of show business because of what she did when he's the one that's grabbing her. And it's just a fucking boob, everybody. Get over it.
Also, it was just like, accident, not an accident, whatever. She's already apologized for it twice. Like, what are we? The fact that they want, like, that he would take it so far is to, like, not just shame her, but, like, try to, like, fucking destroy her career.
Yeah, and financially hurt her.
Yeah, is really, really fucked up. And I did want to mention, so you mentioned TiVo. I have a couple of random things from this. One was, this was the most watched, recorded, and replayed moment in TiVo history. This is when, like, TiVo and, like, digital TV like this was...
DVRs.
Yes, was just coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things, but it led to YouTube, basically. So the co-founder of YouTube credits the incident with leading to the creation of YouTube.
Oh, wow.
He was a young software programmer. His name was Jawed Kareem, and he was working at PayPal, and he was unable to find any video of the Janet Jackson Super Bowl performance online, and he was super frustrated by that. And so he created like a way to easily upload and share videos, and that basically turned into YouTube. So,
which I watch every single day.
Yes. So pretty bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me scroll back up to find my spot. What happened? Okay, yes. So he blocks her everywhere. Like, her album had just, the reason she was even doing the halftime show was she had a new album that was coming out in the spring called Demita Joe, and it was to promote it. So now her new singles and music videos aren't being played on shit like MTV, which is what.
And there's no YouTube.
And there's no YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The album did eventually go platinum, but it was like very minimal mainstream media promotion for this album. And it didn't happen as quickly as it would have if promotions had gone as normal, Apparently she was writing a book called True You, A Journey to Finding and Loving Yourself. This was like, this would have been like 8 years later. She's writing this book, and Moonves still fucking hates her so much that he found out that Simon and Schuster was publishing her book, and he's how the fuck did that slip through? Like, he's like, heads are gonna roll for you agreeing to do that deal.
He's
like,
a fucking monster, y'all.
8 years later. By the way, again, he was fired eventually for sexual harassment and sexual assault allegations. So fuck that guy.
And his wife, Julie Chen, totally has his back. They still have her on CBS for Big Brother.
Yeah.
And she now goes by Julie Chen Moonves. She never did before.
Yeah.
But it was
She's doubling down.
She's doubled down after all the sexual harassment, and he got fired and all that shit. Yeah. She's like, I'm proud of my man.
Good for you, I guess. Loser. Total loser. So some of the aftermath of this. We have talked about focus on the family, and I think we talked about this group kind of on the outside of that a little bit. It's a group called the Parents Television Council. They suck. They're a socially conservative media watchdog group. They are definitely won't someone think of the children? When I was a TV critic, like, I crossed paths with these dickheads many times. Their whole thing is basically like every show and every piece of entertainment should be appropriate for your kids. So they would lose their shit when like something like The Shield is on 10 o'clock on FX. And they're like, well, the content of that. And I was like, why is your kid watching The Shield at 10 o'clock?
Kids don't want to watch The Shield. What's
Also,
in it for
like,
them?
They literally have their own network of shows
Right.
they could be watching. Like, not every fucking thing is for your kid.
Right.
Fuck these people. So they were like, this is our time to shine. So they like had so many, they were like, this is our time to like bitch about like decency on television. They started their whole letter writing campaign, and the FCC received 540,000 complaints from people about the
I think
nip
I saw a
slip.
boob.
I think I saw a boob. I'm traumatized for life. The Parent Television Council they claimed responsibility for about 65,000 of those complaints. Like, it's just, they're
Get a life.
insufferable assholes.
Yeah.
They love to, again, they always complain about shit like this. A couple years later, another NFL game, somebody who was wearing a t-shirt that said, fuck the Eagles, and like the camera accidentally showed it. And then they organized a letter writing campaign because they showed a shirt for like half a fucking second that said fuck the Eagles. Like, all the time and effort these groups spend on shit like this, they could be doing shit that actually helps children.
Right.
But they don't want to. What they want to do is like control what you can watch or read or listen to.
They want to be outraged.
Yes, they want to be outraged, and they want to decide what is appropriate for you, an adult. And apparently we're supposed to gauge that on what we can show children. Like, sorry, we're all... These people even filed shit against the Muppets. That's how much they suck.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Like, they're trash. So we get the Parents Television Council and all their letter writing. The FCC chairman called Jackson's nip slip a classless, crass, and deplorable stunt. Again, not a stunt, an accident.
Yeah.
An accident. It literally, everyone's jokes about it was a wardrobe malfunction. It really was.
It's really the best. It's the best way to put it.
Like, also, is it a wardrobe malfunction when you have someone rip at it? Like, but we're not going to, it's her fault, not his fault. A couple of senators took to the floor and were like, we need to investigate this. And it's like, isn't there better shit for you to be worried about? So there's all of that. But then Nipplegate, whatever you want to call it, they were calling it like Nipplegate. They were called like the wardrobe malfunction. They had all kinds of names for it. But it started to seep into other televised events because now everyone lost their mind, other live shows became really scared that they were going to fall into this trap. So the Super Bowl happens. After that is the Grammys. The Grammys and the Academy Awards put their live broadcasts on like longer delays so that just in case, heaven forbid, somebody like drops an F-bomb or something and they let it slip through. So there's all of that. As of even by like November, it was Veterans Day, and they were going to show Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, God.
And they pulled it because they were like too afraid. They're so fucking afraid that someone's going to say something.
My friend did that in 2001. It was like a Veterans Day for 9/11.
Yeah.
They played on 2001, in 2001 on TNT or something. They did, they do it like a commercial free. It was a big deal to have Saving Private Ryan on TV. And my friend actually called the FCC and complained. And I said, why? She goes, I don't know. I was freaked out by everything that was going on. It was upsetting. And it's like, okay, she lives downtown Manhattan. She can have her freakouts. But people around the country, like, what the hell were you even thinking? Did you not know what that movie was about?
Also, just fucking don't watch it.
Or just deal with it. Or just deal with it. Seriously. You didn't actually go to war. You know, you weren't shot at. You're fine.
So that happens. And then there's like, they used to, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to run the Victoria's Secret fashion show on CBS and they like canceled it that year because of the incident.
Because there might be more nipples.
There might be more nipples. There probably was nipples, but now it's a big deal. Clear Channel removes Howard Stern from a lot of its radio markets after this because they're now afraid of his like raunchy content. I mean, they're off and on afraid, but they've decided, well, now that we've all seen a nipple, it's gone too far. So let's pull Howard Stern. There was another complaint during another like football game. What happened? Oh, a player scored a touchdown. That's right. And he makes a movement like he's gonna moon people. He doesn't moon anyone because he's wearing a uniform. It's like he mimics.
Right.
That was enough for people to complain. People wrote in and said he insinuated that he was going to show his butt.
Was he black or not black? Because that's also
good question.
That would also be there because I think it's also a
he's
matter.
Black.
Yeah,
there you go. Good job, Margot.
Yeah,
he's black. How dare him?
Janet.
I almost saw
they
that.
They didn't go after Justin. They went after her.
Yeah.
If it were a white girl and a black man, and he had pulled at that, it would have been different. But because
my God, you're right. You're totally right.
Yeah.
By the way, that player, he was also fined by the NFL for pretending to moon.
The No Fun League, y'all.
Yes.
We've talked about the NFL many times on this show.
Yes. So there's a bunch of other people that tried to make it all about them. A woman whose name is Terry Carlin. She might as well be named Karen. She's a banker, lives in Tennessee. It's not her fucking business. Filed a class action lawsuit against Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake on behalf of all American citizens. Because she's so concerned about these sexually explicit acts solely designed to garner publicity and ultimately increase profits for themselves.
Well, everyone's trying to increase profits for themselves, first of all. And then secondly...
Bitch, please.
Bitch, please. It's a football game. I mean, come on.
Yeah. She dropped the lawsuit. I like to think she went to court and the judge was like...
laughed at her?
Yeah, and that was stupid. 3 months later, another guy filed another lawsuit. He was a lawyer. Surprise. And Utah filed a lawsuit in a small claims court against Viacom for false advertising of the Super Bowl halftime show because he is a father of 3 young children, and the advertising led him to believe that the halftime show was going to be marching bands, balloons, and a patriotic celebration.
That's one very dumb Mormon right there. Because it hasn't been that in many, many years. This is not, Up With People is not the talent for this, okay? It had been raunchier over the years. I think Britney Spears the year before with Aerosmith was like all raunched out. Yeah.
Yes. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't always, but it had been that way since pretty much the Michael Jackson one where his hair caught on fire. Like
Pepsi.
We've had a whole it's a whole thing. Anyway, that shit didn't work out either. Also, America Online. Ask your grandparents about America Online. They
AOL,
were
you mean?
yes, they were a sponsor of the halftime show, and they tried to get a refund.
Yeah, good luck, Jan.
Good luck. The NFL doesn't like that shit.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. Spare me.
Yeah, but the person who obviously paid the most was Janet Jackson. Like, she had been cast to play Lena Horne in a movie that was pulled. She was forced to resign. There was a statue of like Mickey Mouse wearing like Rhythm Nation stuff at Disney World. They took it down.
How dare you, Disney?
I know.
Rhythm Nation was not at fault here, and that's one of the best albums ever.
I know.
And it's one of my favorite dance sequences ever in a video.
It's so good, and I've been enjoying. There's people on TikTok that like still do the
Is it Tom Holland who did it? No, he did Rihanna. Who did Joseph Gordon-Levitt did Rhythm Nation. Oh,
so good.
So good.
Good. Here's some other random things about Nipplegate. The Onion, a year later, ran a story, said U.S. children still traumatized 1 year after seeing partially exposed breasts on TV.
If you ever seen somebody nursing a child, it's along those lines.
Honestly,
seriously.
Here's the thing. I was working at the newspaper at the time.
The San Francisco Examiner?
Yes. We had the TVs on. We were watching the Super Bowl and it was a Sunday. We worked on Sundays. We're putting the paper together. I was standing with some of the reporters watching the halftime show. And when it happened, we were all like, oh, I don't think that was supposed to happen. We had no idea it was going to be such a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
No idea. And we were like, so anyway.
Because it was the first one on TiVo. It was the first one on DVR. That's why.
Yeah. It was a couple of hours later. We were like, oh shit. Like all these stories are coming on the wire and stuff like that. And we were like, oh my God, are people really that upset about something? So all of us were like, meh. Like,
I heard on the radio the next day, there was this one woman on the show and who was like, it was a mother, of young kids at school. And she goes, I was talking with the other mothers at school when we were picking up our kids. We're all very upset. And I'm like, oh, fuck off, Karen. There weren't Karens then, but there were.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like, you're just making up reasons to be outraged. I mean, give me a break.
Yes. Also, the idea that the Super Bowl halftime show is supposed to be family friendly is very silly because the ads for the Super Bowl.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Are also like really, really racy. And I mean, I made a joke at the top of the show about it being booze and boner pills, but it really is.
Also, like, beer ads always have like scantily clad women and
yes. Yeah. It's all kinds of stuff about like half naked women.
Or the idea of like, you need this beer because this will get you laid.
Yes.
This is what women
want. And then
right.
a ton of like Viagra type meds, advertisements, and the jokes that come with that sort of thing. Commercials for Victoria's Secret, again, practically naked women. I mean, I could go off about just a lot of the commercials I've seen over the years at Super Bowl that are just like, aren't women bitches? Drink this beer. Like, I'm like, fuck these commercials. But
I like the celebrity stunt casting, like the When Harry Met Sally kind of thing happens. That makes me happy, genuinely happy. But most of the time, the commercials are kind of lame.
Yeah, I like a clever ad
Yeah.
like anybody else, you know. I've seen some ads that I'm like, you're gonna make me cry. Stop it. Like, there's ones about like the horses and God, what was that Budweiser one with the horse?
The Clydesdales or
Yeah, it was like a man who like always took care of the horse. I don't remember, but I remember I was like, fuck that commercial. Like it was so sad. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. So the Onion ran their thing. The term wardrobe malfunction was coined because of this incident. It's in the dictionary now.
Oh,
That's a thing
God.
that happened. So what ended up happening? The FCC actually issued a fine to CBS. At first, it was about $27,000. Then they increased it to over $300,000. CBS was like, fuck you. I'm not going to do what you tell me or whatever because they're assholes, right? And because it's Les Moonves, right? He's like, she should have to pay it. That was his thing. Eventually, the fine gets up to like $500,000. But it was like thrown out by the Court of Appeals. So they ended up not paying anything. But the shit went on for years.
Right.
This was 2011 when it finally got thrown out.
Oh, Jesus, so stupid.
Yeah, the documentary comes out about like the dressing down of Janet Jackson and this is like right around the same time that they did a documentary about Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes Justin Timberlake to be like, how can I make this about me? So he issues this like vague apology on Instagram to both Spears and Janet Jackson, like about how he benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. But it was really like, it was just fucking vague and it felt like too little too late.
Mm-hmm.
But
because he didn't go out of his way to say, that was on me, leave her alone. He wouldn't have done that. Yeah, he didn't do that.
No. And, you know, Janet Jackson, she rebuilt from there. Like she had a tour in 2023, 24. I went.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great time. She's
in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That tour was the highest grossing one of her career. She won numerous like icon awards in the last couple of years. And in case you're wondering, the New England Patriots actually beat the Carolina Panthers 32-29 in that game. And that is our creep.
It's a creepy event.
The reaction to Nipplegate, I guess, would be the creep here.
Good job, Sonia.
Thanks, friend.
That was a blast in time. I remember when it happened. I didn't watch that game because I hate the Patriots. Sorry. I
also hate the Patriots. Ugh. And we've done an episode on the Patriots if you want to listen.
Yes, we have done an episode of the Patriots. So yeah, we both have it's like them and the Cowboys. I just can't get behind. It's fine, but I remember it's the next day people were talking. Well, I guess that night people were talking about it, but this is before Twitter. It's before a lot of things. So it's just
it would have been so much worse.
Oh, absolutely. Or it would have gotten over much worse, much sooner.
Oh, maybe.
Because
that's true. We do move on.
The
faster.
outrage cycle is very short now compared to the way it used to be. I mean, Janet Jackson,
that's true,
for years had to put up with that shit, and Justin did not. And
correct.
I think like he needs to.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.
I know Fixing Famous People is another show. I feel like he needs to have like an autobiography come out and have it be like, I'm pushing 50, because he is. These are my regrets. This is what was great, and these are my regrets. And he started as a kid. You know, his career in show business. So he wasn't probably the most mature person. I'm sure he was used to having managers and people cover around him and say, "Oh no, don't talk to them. Do this." You know, I don't know.
Just Yeah, just a couple of years ago, he performed on the halftime show again. Like
Yeah.
he was the headliner, and he did a whole thing where like he sang "Rock Your Body" and he like went up to a woman, and then he said like he's like, and I bet stop, ha ha ha, because he's not going to do it this time, and then like something else happens, and I'm like, you don't get to joke about this. Fuck you.
That's when I sort of like, I used to play his music in my classes and stuff. That's kind of like, I'm over this guy. He's a little too twee for me. I don't know what it is. But yeah, these things, the outrage cycle, it's the level of shit she had to put up with is just astronomical. And it just makes no sense until you realize, oh, she's a Black woman. And white people love to be offended by people of color. They always make it sound like it's like so much worse.
I'm just asking questions, or
Right.
I just want things to be okay for children, because apparently the
children.
existence of Black people is scary and
a boob is not
alarming
going
to
to do
children.
anything.
Yeah,
It's just your body.
seriously.
I mean, come on. All right, so we've had like football players that are not creeps, and we've had like different things we've promoted. I decided, like, let's do some. I'm a little pissed off at the NFL, and I'm not sure if I'm going to watch the Super Bowl or not Sunday because they're getting rid of their DEI policies. The fact that where do they make their money and who do they make their money from? And they're now saying that I mean, it's like that's going to be its own episode one day.
Y'all keep your eye on the organizations and businesses that are really quick to be like, oh, we don't have to pretend anymore.
Right.
Keep your eye on those people, because 4 years from now, hopefully, when we're in a better place, we're going to remember that these were people who were only doing the right thing because they fucking had to.
Right.
Gross.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who aren't, like Costco is doing really well right now. They're getting a lot of great press and a lot of like chatter on social media how they can have like $1.50 hot dog. They could pay their employees $30 an hour and make money.
Yeah. I'm very, very disappointed in Target.
I know.
I was like, Target, I was rooting for you. I fought for you. But not now.
You're going to have to switch to Costco.
That's fine.
Which is fun. I like Costco. I do. I like those big shelves. I love the samples. I love that hot dog. It's really good.
There's nothing at Target that I can't get anywhere else.
Right.
Other than the cute little birds that they have, the little Target birds. Have you seen these? Look at, I'm showing Margot. Look, doesn't that look like me?
It does look like you.
They have these cute little birds that they put out, and they're like seasonal, and they're like $5, and they're really fucking cute, y'all. And all of us Target bitches are like, the new birds are out. Like, but I'm like, it's not worth it. Sorry, I'm not going to throw out my principles just to get some cute birds.
I know we're supposed to quit Amazon. I mean, that's going to be tougher for some of us, most of us, I think. But there are decisions you're going to need to make because we need to like.
Yeah, I'm not saying
make our
I
voices
won't.
Known.
Yeah, I'm not saying, oh, I'll never go to Target again. I was like, but I'm definitely not going to be going there unless I have to.
Right.
You know, it's the same with Amazon. I use it when I have to.
When I have to, I use it, but not right. I try to use everything else first. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about some nonprofits that are American football. I had to make sure to say that. So it's American football charities that are nonprofits that have a football element to them, but they're not the NFL. Because screw them. That's how I feel. The first one is usafootball.com. They are a charity that believes in the passion, intensity, joy, confidence, and sense of community football brings to those who play, coach, and love it. They raise money for that around the country. They also raise money for to create flag football. It's just to create these programs for people in different communities. So it gives them equipment and that kind of thing. And, I like sports. I know not everybody likes sports, and people like to say oh, sports is just about beating up people, or sports is just about aggression or whatever. And I think you learn a lot from sports, and it's a lot about teamwork and a lot about setting goals for yourself, about being a good loser. and being a good
Yeah.
winner. Those are good, two like really good traits to have and practice to have.
Absolutely.
And I played a little ball when I was a kid, and I liked being on the team with the uniforms. It was nice to belong to something.
I played softball for a season.
Yeah.
I'm not. I love to watch baseball. Still watch baseball.
Right.
Um, it is. There are lots of things to learn, and for girls in particular,
Yeah.
like it's a great way to like build confidence and
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for all kids. Sorry, I shouldn't just say girls.
People
but
always think it's just for bullies, like sports is just for bullies. I'm like, no, it's for everyone. And it's all kinds of people that participate in it. I mean, sure, the loud, rude ones ruin it for everybody. But like, yeah, most jocks are just people who like are fit and like to just challenge themselves. That's all. That's all it is.
some people are competitive that way too.
Yeah, some
it's
people are really
it's a good
competitive.
way to like explore your competitive side in a
Yeah.
I'm going to say a healthy way.
It is. And also, having goals and reaching your goals and getting
Yeah.
incrementally better at something by practicing, like all those are good things. So this is why I like sports, and I think they are good for kids. There's the American Football Coaches Association, which is a charitable organization that helps football coaches around the country. There's Good Sports. All these links are in the show notes. It's a youth sports charity that provides equipment to needy programs. There's
Nice.
American
That's a
Youth
good one.
Football, which is AYF. It's a 501(c)(3) nonprofit that provides support services, scholarships, grants, community programs, and tournaments. And there's some local ones that, sorry, I'm just bringing up my...
No, you're good.
Okay. There's No Hungry Kids Maryland, which is a charity that works to ensure children have access to nutrition, which is also a part of their sports program. Simi Valley Bulldogs Football and Cheer, which is a youth football program in Simi Valley, California. There's For Our Children I Stand, which is a charity in Fort Worth, Texas. There's North Raleigh Association. So there's all kinds of places across the country where you can give your dollars and support to help kids or other people just have this outlet for them. And that's our non-creep today. And I put a bunch of those into the show notes so y'all can just see it for yourselves. I also
That's a good list, Margot.
Thanks, Sonia. I also want to thank Vicky, Stephanie, and Rhea, who just joined our Patreon, by the way. I forgot to mention them earlier in the show. If you like the sound of our voices, and by golly, why wouldn't you at this point?
Right?
We co-host a show called Dorking Out, where Sonia and I dork out about movies. Sonia, what are we going to be dorking out about next?
We're just going to keep riding this football train. We are going to talk about one of Margot's favorites, Remember the Titans. So with Denzel Washington, Will Patton, somebody else in there.
Ryan Reynolds. The other
Ryan Gosling
is in there.
Yes.
It's got it's lots of cute boys. There's little baby Hayden Panettiere is in there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's about this a football team in like Virginia or something. I could do this better. I've seen this movie like 100 times, and I couldn't tell you what this town was. But it's based on a true story, and it's sort of Southern-ish. And it's a town where there's a lot of racial animus going on. Denzel Washington plays a new football coach that shows up. And he, of course, is going to be made head football coach over the white guy, the Will Patton character.
What?
So people freak out. It's got lots of there's a lot of good stuff in there about people, brotherhood and teammate-dom and being, a friend and crossing the color lines. And I said to Sonia, one big thing for me for that movie is it's like 1971 or 72. The needle drops are perfection, just great music.
Love.
And it's just very enjoyable. I haven't seen it in a few years, so I'm interested myself to see like how I feel about this movie. But that's what's coming up on Dorking Out.
It's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. It has its fans. There's a lot of people who like Remember the Titans. And it's on Disney. If you get Disney Plus, it's streaming for free there. Or not for free. It's streaming on Disney. Whatever. As you can tell, we're always looking for ideas, for suggestions, for creeps and also non-creeps. So all those places I mentioned at the top of the show. We, for social media, we love it when you use the Andy Potts gift. We got one from Ghostbusters, but you can just be clever and pick something on your own. Our email, once again, is whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. If you would like some stickers, email us your address. I will drop them in the mail for you. I just dropped a bunch today, Sonia, because like I said, it's been freezing in New York. I finally had a nice sunny day. I got that done today, but email us with your address. I will drop them in the mail for you. And Sonia, where can they find you?
You can always find me at thesoniashow.com. That's not going anywhere. I should write on there. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I haven't written. So
It's been a while.
yeah, but you can always go there. And you can also find me again, The Sonia Show on Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. Where can people find you, my friend?
You can find me at brooklynfitchick.com. I'm at brooklynfitchick for Threads and Instagram, trying to make those still work. I go in there. I try to make it happen. I'm on Blue Sky and TikTok at Brooklyn Margot. And then on YouTube, please follow me on YouTube. I'm at my name, Margot Donahue. All of you, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. It's, have fun this weekend. I will watch the Super Bowl. Who am I kidding? I'm going to see Taylor Swift. I mean,
I'm like, I want to see Kendrick Lamar.
I love Kendrick Lamar. I listened to I was listening to another radio station the other day, and they were like, "Who's Kendrick Lamar?" And I'm like, "What? You can Google is free, y'all." And
that's embarrassing.
I'm embarrassed for them. And this year's Grammys was really great, by the way. In case I don't know if you heard, but it was really fun, and he did a great job there. Anyway, in the meantime, y'all, stay safe, be kind. Don't call the FCC for stupid shit. Don't whine to police stations for TV stations, excuse me.
Mind your business.
Mind your fucking business. Take a walk. Think about it for a minute before you actually commit to making
Take a breath.
Take a breath. Just don't be a creep.
A creep.
Thank you for listening to us talk about creeps. You can follow us at What a Creep Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
But don't follow us too closely.
You can email us your creepy stories at whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com.
But please keep your dick pics to yourself.
How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to chumbacasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.